there! Are you planning a trip to New York City in 2023? Well, you're in for a treat. The city that never sleeps has something for everyone. From iconic landmarks to hidden gems, there's never a dull moment in the Big Apple. So to help you make the most of your trip, we've put together a list of 21 things to do in New York City in 2023. First up, let's start with the most iconic attraction in the city, the Statue of Liberty. You can take a ferry from Battery Park to Liberty Island and visit the Statue of Liberty Museum. The museum has interactive exhibits that tell the story of how the statue was built and the meaning behind it. Next, we have the Empire State Building. This iconic skyscraper has been featured in countless movies and TV shows. You can take an elevator to the 86th floor and enjoy panoramic views of the city. And if you're feeling adventurous, you can go all the way up to the 102nd floor. Now, let's talk about something that's unique to New York City, the Broadway shows. You can catch a world-famous Broadway show at one of the many theaters in Times Square. From Hamilton to The Lion King, there's a show for everyone. If you're a fan of museums, you can visit the Metropolitan Museum of Art, also known as the Met. The Met has a vast collection of art from around the world, including works by Picasso, Van Gogh, and Rembrandt. And the best part? Admission is pay what you wish. Central Park is another must-visit attraction in New York City. The park covers 843 acres and has something for everyone. You can take a stroll through the Shakespeare Garden, rent a boat at the Central Park Lake, or have a picnic on the Great Lawn. The High Line is a unique public park built on an elevated railway track. The park runs from Gansevoort Street in the Meatpacking District to 34th Street in Hudson Yards. You can take a leisurely walk on the park and enjoy the views of the city. Now, let's talk about something that's not so well known, the City Hall Station. This abandoned subway station is a hidden gem in the city. You can take a guided tour of the station and learn about its history and architecture. The 9 Elephants Memorial and Museum is a somber but important attraction in New York City. The museum has artifacts, exhibits, and videos that tell the story of the 9 Elephants attacks. You can also visit the 9 Elephants Memorial, which has 2 reflecting pools in the footprint of the Twin Towers. If you're a fan of art, you can visit the Whitney Museum of American Art. The museum has a collection of modern and contemporary American art, including works by Andy Warhol and Edward Hopper. The Brooklyn Bridge is another iconic landmark in New York City. You can take a walk across the bridge and enjoy the views of the city and the East River. The One World Observatory is located on the 100th floor of the One World Trade Center. You can take an elevator to the top and enjoy 360-degree views of the city. The Museum of Modern Art, also known as MoMA, is another must-visit museum in New York City. The museum has a collection of modern and contemporary art, including works by Salvador Dali and Frida Kahlo. Now, let's talk about something that's perfect for a hot summer day, Coney Island. Coney Island has a boardwalk, a beach, and an amusement park. You can ride the iconic Cyclone roller coaster, enjoy a hot dog from Nathan's Famous, or take a dip in the Atlantic Ocean. If you're a foodie, you can't miss out on the food scene in New York City. From pizza to bagels, there's something for every palate. You can try the famous pizza at Di Ferra Pizza, the bagels at Essa Bagel, or the pastrami at Katz's Delicatessen. The American Museum of Natural History is another must-visit museum in New York City. The museum has exhibits on dinosaurs, space, and the oceans. And if you're a fan of the movie Night at the Museum, you'll recognize some of the exhibits. If you're looking for a unique shopping experience, you can visit the Chelsea Market. The market has a variety of shops and restaurants, and you can even take a food tour of the market. The Bronx Zoo is one of the largest zoos in the United States. The zoo has over 4,000 animals, including lions, tigers, and gorillas. And if you're lucky, you might even get to see a baby animal. The New York Botanical Garden is another hidden gem in the city. The garden has over 1 million plants and 50 gardens. And if you visit in the spring, you can see the cherry blossoms in full bloom. If you're a history buff, you can visit the Ellis Island National Museum of Immigration. The museum has exhibits that tell the story of the immigrants who came to the United States through Ellis Island. The Intrepid Sea, Air and Space Museum is another unique museum in New York City. The museum has exhibits on aircraft carriers, submarines, and space exploration. And if you're feeling adventurous, you can even take a ride in a flight simulator. If you're a sports fan, you can catch a game at one of the many sports venues in New York City. You can watch the Yankees play at Yankee Stadium, the Knicks play at Madison Square Garden, or the Giants play at MetLife Stadium. And last but not least, you can take a stroll through the neighborhoods of New York City. From the hipster vibes of Williamsburg to the chic streets of Soho, each neighborhood has its own unique character. Well, there you have it, folks. 21 things to do in New York City in 2023. Whether you're a first-time visitor or a seasoned New Yorker, there's always something new to discover in the city that never sleeps.